Gonna need some chapstick for this one. Still pointy. Okay, I'm ready. Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about something that I experience, I would say, on a daily basis as someone with a disability. And I want to preface this by saying that this is my opinion. This is something that I believe, and it may not be everyone's opinion as someone with a disability, but this is what I experience and how I interpret it. So I just wanted to preface that first. So the topic that I want to talk about today is the washroom or the bathroom, depending on what country you're from, and like a public shower. So a public washroom and a public shower. Now, we live in a world, me specifically, I live in a world where, as I've said before, is not set up for me. However, there's usually, in a lot of public restrooms, an accessible stall, which is great, because that's what I need. So the reason this all came up today, and it's the same in like the shower at the gym. There's always like one accessible gym stall or shower stall that you can use. So the reason that I bring this up today is because I was in the locker room at the gym today, and it was just me and one other gentleman in the gym, and I think he was around my age or just a little bit younger. And there is literally 6 or 7 showers, and then there's the accessible one. Now, I had just come in from my workout. I was like mixing my protein powder. And so I wasn't ready to shower yet. I like to hit the steam room after I do a workout. But this man, out of all the showers that he could have chose, he was using the accessible one. And he literally was having the water run. He would go out, he would shave his face, he would go back in the shower, rinse off, put more shaving cream on, shave, go back to the mirror, and he kept going back and forth. And so I was drinking my protein shake thinking, okay, eventually I'm going to need to use the shower. And of all the ones that you could choose, why are you using the accessible one? The other interesting piece was it was farther away from the mirror. So if he would have picked one that was a regular stall, he could have seen in the mirror better. And specifically, he probably could have seen from his stall in particular, so he didn't have to keep running back and forth. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up, and here's why I was a little bit annoyed. And in this situation, it wasn't no big of a deal, because when it came time for me to shower, he politely moved. But this drives me bonkers. Because again, we live in a world that isn't set up for me. So in that locker room, I have one choice. He had 6. I have one choice. It's the same in a public washroom. I have one choice. And I wrestle with this idea going back and forth of the compassionate side of me is like, okay, if you're going to shower and all of the other stalls are taken, then okay, maybe it is okay for you to use the accessible one. But then there's another part of me that's like, no, I have one choice. You have 6 choices. Leave that one for the folks with disabilities, because that's the only choice that they have. And I know that as I say it, it sounds a bit selfish. Like, well, I deserve to have one of my own. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. But it's the same in the washroom as well. And I can't tell you how many times that I've gone into a washroom and I've had to wait because somebody is using the accessible stall that doesn't need it. Now, let me be very clear. There's been many times where you can't always see someone's physical disability, or they may need to use it for other reasons. And I totally take that into consideration when I am starting to feel frustrated in those situations, whether it's in the bathroom or in like a public shower setting. But this guy in particular today didn't need it. He had no problem. He wasn't using the handrails. He wasn't using the seat in the accessible shower. He was literally using it because it was big. He could move around and he could go back and forth to the sink, because the shower is sort of here and the sink is over here. I want to be patient, but I want to also educate all of you out there to make you realize that, again, when I come into a public locker room or when I come into public washroom, I have one option. And if you choose to use that over the 7 other options, I get frustrated. I'm also very aware that these, like an accessible washroom stall and also an accessible stall in a locker room, sometimes is used for your kids. And I completely understand that. And that is also reserved for you folks with kids. Because I can't even imagine, although I don't have kids, I have a lot of friends, and my sister has 3 boys. I know how difficult that can be. I can assume in a public setting like that. So that's fine. All that's fine. But if you walk into that washroom and you choose the big one because you want a little bit more space, I hope you remember me. Remember that if I come into that washroom, I have to wait for you because you took the only option that I have available to me. I don't know where I'm going with this in regards to what I think you should do. However, I just wanted to express a bit of anger and annoyance today, and something that I face on a daily basis. That we live in a world that isn't set up for folks like me. But you have the opportunity every single day to help folks with disabilities in that regard by not using that or saving that for someone that might actually need it. So, that's my rant for today. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I hope it gives you some insight as to what I experience. As always, you're my new best friend. Call me every 5 minutes. Bye.